And welcome everyone to an NABC chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Ben McCollum from Northwest Missouri State. And all Ben's done recently, five-time NABC Coach of the Year in Division II, five-time, more importantly, national champion. The only ones he didn't get were 2018, and there wasn't one in 2022 yet. You're doing something quite right here, Ben. What do you attribute most of your success to at Northwest Missouri State?
You know, for us, it's just about getting the right kids. I mean, that's what we've done since we've been here. Is early on, we tried to identify the kids that fit what we do, fit our culture. High energy, positive, tough kids, and kind of let them be who they are. So it's pretty simple formula. It's probably the same for any successful program. Get as many good people as you can possibly get, put them in position to be successful. And then, we've been fortunate enough to get those right kids, and then we've had some success on top of that.
You know, one thing I know that Mark Few Gonzaga is a good example of someone who prescribes to this is that you don't have to mess with happy. Clearly, you are happy there. I'm not saying you couldn't ascend to a higher level or a different part of the country, but things are working for you personally at Northwest Missouri State. Why have you stayed?
Yeah, I think for me, I coach specifically to make a difference on kids' lives. And so it's not an ego thing to win or an ego thing to go Division I. It's more, can I impact the kids that I coach? And then can I impact the community that I'm in? And we have a big enough platform that we can impact those things. I can impact the kids here. I can impact the area that I have. And at this point, I haven't been offered anything that's given me an opportunity to have a bigger platform to help with communities, to help with the kids that I would coach. So that's why I've stayed and been happy and continue to be happy. And I do have a good job. Obviously, you always want to move on to the next challenge eventually, but it has to be the right one. It's not going to be because, hey, now Ben McCollum, he's Division I or whatever, and all of a sudden I'm that much better of a coach. I don't really need a big ego boost to go Division I, but I do want a different challenge at some point in my life.
So, Ben, life has changed quite a bit in college athletics, certainly at the Division I level. How has the transfer portal, NIL, how has that affected someone like yourself, highly successful at the D2 level?
For us, the transfer portal, we don't have a single transfer on our roster. So it hasn't impacted us a ton at this point, meaning what I found is if you don't take a lot of transfers, then generally a lot of kids won't transfer out. We try to identify kids that are going to be 4- and 5-year kids in the recruiting process, through their social media, through making sure that we talk to all their coaches, et cetera, et cetera. And we've been fortunate enough to get kids that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so we haven't had a ton of the transfers. For Division II, it's honestly probably helped our level a little bit because we have 2, 3, 4, 5-year kids, a lot of our programs at this level. Whereas at Division I, everybody jumps into the next transfer. And so they have 1-year kids. And so that's probably why you see some of those upsets early in the season with Division IIs beating low majors or mid majors or whatever it may be, because they have seasoned veterans essentially. Whereas at that level, it's very transfer heavy, trying to find the next talent. It's very difficult to build culture doing it that way. So we've tried to avoid it as much as we can. For us, it's worked so far, but I'm not saying that eventually we'll have to change.
What about in the NIL space?
Nothing for us. At Division II, you don't have enough money necessarily, so it's been really nice, to be honest. I have some friends at Division I, and I think with the the NIL, it becomes, from what I've seen, very difficult to probably make as big a difference on kids' lives. Meaning, I think kids probably need to be paid to play, essentially, because schools do make so much money off of them. How do you do that and then not spoil them essentially, and still be able to coach them hard enough that you can change them for the better. So once they become adults and get off into their own space, they've been made better and been challenged and been made uncomfortable and had to fight through it. What answer that is, I don't know. That's for somebody else to figure out, but I can see that being an issue at the upper levels. But for us, it hasn't been, and it's been great.
All right. So how do you get title number 6?
Good question. I think just stay process focused. I'll give you the boring answer that probably everybody gives you. Stay process focused. We have a lot back this season, but we did lose one that's he's I guess with the Houston Rockets right now. So he was really good for our level. We stay solely on the process. Like everything is today. How can we get better today? And we don't let outside noise affect us or drink the poison.
But who has to have a big year potentially
for us
you to win another title? Yep.
We're going to be more team heavy. So whereas last year we had Trevor Hudgens that had a big year, for us, it's going to be a little bit more by committee than we have in the past. And so it might be 5 guys averaging double figures, and then offensively just being a little bit better at all the little, drive to the basket reads or screening angles or whatever it may be, just being better as a group. And that's what we've gone with up to this point.
Well, Ben, I have a feeling I'm going to be talking to you at some point this season, certainly in the postseason. Best of luck here going forward. You obviously have done a tremendous job at Northwest Missouri. Continued success. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks a lot for having me on. I appreciate it.